Unsyndicated presents Off the Air with Sean Baligian.
Wow, can you guys believe we got more rain today? That's really odd. We haven't seen a lot of rain this year. Unbelievable, man. Like right now, Blake, I'm not joking. Like a monsoon is over my house, and it's the second monsoon of the day. Like I am so serious. It's unbelievable.
What do we do if you lose power and or internet? Do I just keep talking to myself?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, it's not like you've done a show before.
That's true.
Right?
I'd figure it out eventually.
Yeah. How you doing? You okay?
We're hanging in there. We got a
Yeah.
workout in today.
Attaboy.
Didn't do any housework. Just same old. It was great.
All right, so I have to start with this, and I'm going to ask you and everybody else a question about the Tigers in a second, okay? But I'm going to start with this, Blake. I don't know if you know this. There are only 32 days until we watch real college football. Did you know that?
Yeah, I read it somewhere in the bottom left-hand portion of the screen.
Okay. Are you excited? I'd like to get your thoughts on that. Are you at least excited?
I'm very excited. I can barely contain my excitement, if you know what I mean. And I know you know what I mean.
Oh, I know what you mean, young man. I know what you mean. After our conversation, poor Todd is never going to have conversations with us again after the first couple of things, but whatever. What up, guys? Ray said, how long before Blake dyes his hair blonde like his hero Burrow? Mets beating the Yankees. Maeda sucks. So does Joey Wentz. I'm so done with it. Like another prospect. Oh, golly gee. Why they keep trotting him out there, I'll never know. But Todd, is there any way you can find that picture of Joey Burrow? That with the new hair? What did you think, Blake?
I'll send it to him. I mean, Joe can do whatever he wants. He looks fantastic. He looks fantastic. It doesn't matter.
He can do whatever he wants.
Joe can do whatever he wants. I don't care.
All right. That's fine. Find that picture because I need to do it because Jason set it up. He said, just wait until Blomo is doing the solo with a snorkel. Sean, how are you dealing with not being able to hand water your lawn? It is weird, like no joke. Like, so we moved here 5 years ago and we have like one of those automatic sprinklers and all that stuff. Blake, honestly, I think I've turned it on one time this summer. That's how much rain we've had our way. Like I'm kind of loony about the yard, and which, like, when you brought up that one patch because the brainiac that lived here thought it was a great idea to plant like Kentucky bluegrass. Like, what are you doing? So I'm gonna have to like rip that out and plant some sod there. But normally in the past, like people would always make fun of me because I was the old dude that would go out with the hose, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to do it here. I almost swore. I crap you not. I've turned on the sprinkler one time this year. I mean, that's how like unbelievably wet it's been this year.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. No, I can't even grow grass in my backyard because every time I try, it's just there's too much water. It doesn't grow.
All right. So I have a
picture. The picture's ready, by the way.
All right, put the picture up.
Yeah, he looks fine.
He looks like a douche. Come on.
There's
It's
nothing
okay.
wrong with
All
it.
things can be true. You can still like fall madly, deeply, truly in love with him and say that's just not a good look. Can we? No, you're not going to do it, are you?
No, I'm not going to do it. He can do whatever he wants. Win football games. You can walk out there with pink hair. Amon-Ra walks out there in blue hair and everyone loves him.
I think it's stupid. Sorry. I think it's stupid.
It's fine. He
All
looks good. He can do whatever he wants. My wife loves him more than I do.
Oh, really?
My wife would leave me for Joe Burrow 100%. And she said he looks great. So I'm just going off of that.
As Nick said, he looks like Cody Rhodes. He does. Now, can you find a picture of Cody Rhodes before I ask you guys all a dumb question? And like, I'm going to use you as an example of this dumb question. Just on principle, okay?
That sounds fantastic to me.
All right. Find that picture of Cody Rhodes. So, and I'm going to ask you guys this as well, all you guys watching right now. So the Tigers have been hot in July, right? They've been hot in July. So much so, best record in baseball in July. Give them their flowers, all right? That's a factual statement. For once, this isn't, a situation about us talking about things that we think are going to happen or surely think are going to happen, right? And that's what this baseball fan base has been doing for a long time. This is actually, Matt said, oh no, did I walk into Sean trashing Joe Burrow?
There will be no Joe Burrow trashing on this show.
He looks like a douche. Sorry. All right, do we have the other picture, Todd?
I think he's working. Oh yeah, he's nodding his head yes.
There it is.
It's fine.
All right.
What you can try and slander him all you want. It doesn't matter.
He's a tremendous quarterback.
Tremendous.
He really is. He's a tremendous quarterback. I'm like, no joke. Like I got no problems with Joe Burrow. None. Like
I think. Do you want me to overthink it?
Yeah.
He's cocky. He knows they're going to be good this year.
But he's cocky all the time.
He's that perfect level of cocky, but you do that to your hair, that's another, that's a jump up of cockiness.
I will disagree. I think you crossed over into douche territory. Like you were right. You were right on the border, and then you showed them your passport, and they said, "Welcome to douche territory." And now you're kind of a douche when you do something like that. Sorry.
He didn't play football at Ohio State, just so we're clear, Nick. He played football at LSU. He went to school at Ohio State, so I don't hold that against him.
Ray said, NHL or MLB, when trading for prospects, which sport do you find harder to judge? I think that's a great question. I think they're both very, very difficult, but I would say baseball. I mean, you just see so many misses. You really do.
And there's just so many players.
Yeah.
I mean, how long is that draft? Like 37 rounds?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many baseball players.
Yeah. All right. So a group of buddies of mine, we're in a text group together, and they have been giving me a lot of crap about not jumping in. Right? Kind of like, when you and I were having the conversation about the Lions last year. And, I said to you, what do the Lions have to do? And you were like, make the playoffs, win a playoff game. And Blake, that's totally fine. Like I told you then, I tell you now, all jokes aside, I don't blame one human being for doubting the Detroit Lions. I just don't. Okay, especially the older generation that we've been burned so many times, and our little hearts are so hurt. Okay. And that's kind of what's happened with the Tigers now for a long time. And one of my buddies, I kid you not, he gets almost offended by it. And I'm not going to say his name. You know who you are, jerk. He was like, dude, if they win tonight, they're going to be 500. And I was like, whoop-de freaking do.
So we're rooting for mediocrity.
Right. Yeah. That's how far this baseball team has fallen. Yeah. I am supposed to celebrate. If the Tigers can come from behind, it was 5-4 the last I saw. If the Tigers can come from behind and win that game, I'm supposed to celebrate 500. Like you guys, as Todd said, hang the 500 banner. Wee! Like what that? Like is this real? I don't get it. So I'm going to ask you guys, and you know what? For all I know, some of you might already be all in. You might be all in, okay? And I'm not, to each your own. I'm not going to dog you for it, okay? I still think, and Todd, I know you brought this up last night, there are still just way too many holes in this lineup, okay? There are legitimately 2, maybe 2.5 pitchers on this team. Sorry, I'm not going to buy in. So my buddy asked me the question, and I promised him, I said, I'm going to ask this question tomorrow. What would the Tigers need to do to make you excited? Because, Blake, you've openly said it before. You're just not a big baseball guy. That's cool. Neither was I really at your age. It was, my son that turned me into a baseball-loving person. And I really do. I love the sport. I kid you not.
Mm-hmm.
But what do the Tigers have to do to make you get excited?
Are you talking this season or going forward?
This season. Is there a chance for them to I threw out a number, but I want to hear what other people have to say. And maybe you already are excited, and maybe you're one of those people going, Baligian, you're such a hater. Dude, I've heard it 1,000 times in my career, okay? Like, stop that, okay? But, Blake, I'll start with what would make you go, you know what? Maybe I should tune into this. Is there a certain number that they would have to get to? Is it standings? Is it overall record? What would be the number that would actually get you excited?
I don't think that there's a number. I think it's getting just having exciting players. Legitimately, besides Tarek Skubal, there's no one exciting on this roster that I am I have to tune in to see this player. There's no hitters that I'm oh, that's must see.
I like Riley Green. I like him. I'm not putting him on a pedestal, right?
Okay, but for perfect example, like you said, I am not a baseball guy. I know who Ellie De La Cruz is.
Mm-hmm.
He's exciting. He's exciting to watch, and that I as far as I know, I don't think the Reds are having some great season, but I know him. I know what he brings to the table. Players like that, even on a bad baseball team, exciting players will draw people in. There's just nothing there.
I like the promise of Colt Keith, and he's shown me enough to make me go, But the number, by the way, can you highlight what Ray said? Ray, I swear to God, I had this conversation with my buddies yesterday. The extra wild card has created false hope on mediocre teams. 1,000%. 1,000%.
I'm worried about that happening with college football.
No,
Not to change the subject.
No. Well, and you know what? I mean, let's face it. How many times did we talk about it with the NFL? The NFL's selling hope. Whether people want to admit it or not, it's inconsequential. The NFL is selling hope. That extra playoff team makes 5 more cities say, we got a chance, and all you have to do is get in the playoff. Right?
Chip in a chair.
I told my buddies last night, since they were busting my butt. I told my buddies last night, I said, let's have a conversation when the Tigers are 5 games over 500. 5 games over 500. We've dropped our expectations so much in recent years. Think about the playoff years, man. Seriously. We have dropped our expectations so much. We're so desirous of having anything to legitimately cheer about that I have a group of friends calling me a hater because I'm not excited that the Tigers might get back to 500 tonight.
Yeah, I don't understand rooting for mediocrity. Why is that okay?
I don't get it. Mike asks, what's the difference between 100% and 1,000%? Just curious, asking for a friend. That's yes. Right? It's here I go with food again. It's when I made Blake pulled pork the one time, he was like, man, I like this. And I'm like, seriously, Blake? He was like, yeah, 100% I like it. But then when I spiced it up and put my secret ingredient in, I didn't have to ask Blake how he liked the pulled pork. You know what he said to me? Okay, seriously, what'd you do different to that pulled pork? Shh, I can't tell you. So that goes from 100 to 1,000%. Might be
So in
top
the
3 dumbest things I've ever said.
Mark in the chat said, "How can you not be excited for 3 young arms, Olsen, Skubal, and Job?" But okay,
I can answer that.
I
And Mark,
can-
oh, buddy, what's up, Mark?
I can too. I'm not like I'm just in my dumb, very very small baseball brain. I'm excited for offense, not pitching. That's the simple answer for me.
I've talked up Skubal so much, but as we were talking about earlier, it's just Skubal. Okay, let's see with Reese. I mean, he's shown some good things. I don't think a lot of people thought that maybe he would be all that. So wouldn't it be nice if for once the prospect actually was a lot better than anybody expected, as opposed to the opposite? And for me, I'm talking more about the team. Yeah, I like Skubal. Skubal. I've said it, since last fall. He's one of the best pitchers in the league. Nobody saw it last fall because everybody was wrapped up in what Michigan was doing and what the Detroit Lions were off to. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm talking about the baseball team. Like for me, I'm talking about the baseball team. I want to be excited about this team and think that they've got a legitimate shot and not sit here and worry that the one prospect who actually panned out, they might flip them. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to be excited about. As far as the other prospects, guys, I've been burned way too many times. Sorry. And so have you. And so many of you got mad at me when I said, you guys, what are you like dropping your pants around your ankles? Look what this Daz Cameron isn't doing in the minors. Look what Kristen Stewart isn't doing in the minors. And we all know the names. And, the Tigers, in 5 years, they're going to end up winning the JV trade. Jake Rogers. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. So pardon me if I don't get excited about that which we aren't seeing just yet. And for me, again, I want to be excited about the team. And 500 doesn't do that for me. Let's have a conversation when you're a few games over 500. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The Xfinity thing's not helping either.
Which is not helping a lot of people.
I mean, just because someone said it earlier, like even if they do, find themselves in a playoff race and going down the stretch, first of all, football is going to happen towards the end of that season. And I think people, no matter what, are going to be way more excited for the Lions than anything else. And then it's hard for people to watch them right now.
Tigers lose 5-4. Joey Wentz gets lit up again. And golly gee, they didn't hit 500. Like, come on. Give me a break, right? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I know.
No, you and I are very much on the same page. I'm never going to be someone that's okay with mediocrity.
I like pieces. Well, listen. I called my shot years ago with this Jim Caldwell crap. The people in this town that wanted to erect a statue of Jim Caldwell, okay? I said for years, okay, that one day somebody's going to come here and show us what winning really looks like. Hey, after what transpired last year with Dan Campbell, how many people out there are pining for those glorious Jim Caldwell days? Show of hands. Didn't think so. And that's what I'm talking. Like, hooray, 9-7. And in fairness, they had a good team in 2014. They wasted an elite defense. They really did. And they kind of got robbed against Dallas. But I mean, that was his time as the Detroit Lions coach. 9-7, playoff loss. Right? 11-5, playoff loss. 7-9, 9-7, no playoffs. Sorry. I'd like more than that. Thank you. I would.
Mhm.
I'd like more than that. So Tigers, did I mention the Tigers lost?
You did.
All right. I just want to make sure that I got that out there.
It's a real shame they're not going to be 500.
Yeah.
It's a real
Yeah.
shame.
I was really looking forward to that. Listen, let me you know who I'm gonna start with, because I just saw something from him, my buddy, Mr. Mike Cusack, and our friends from Wealth Advantage Group. There they are, the Handsome Brothers. If you're ready to take charge of your financial future, look no further than the Wealth Advantage Group, located in historic downtown Northville and owned by those guys, two brothers, the Handsome Brothers, I might add, with over 20 years of industry experience. They understand that your financial goals are as unique as you are, and that's why they offer personalized expert guidance to help you navigate the complexities of financial planning. Now, whether you're saving for retirement, you're getting ready to sell your company, you're already in retirement, they can help guide you through every step of your financial journey. They work with clients throughout all stages of life and have clients in over 20 states. The investment world is a complex one. So if you're ready to start taking your finances more seriously, it's time to work with the experts. Two guys that have helped tons of people, including my family, reach out to the Wealth Advantage Group at 248-773-8574 or visit their website at www.thewealthadv.com. Blake, did I mention there's only 32 days until college football season?
You did, and I'm excited. I love college football. It's the best.
By show of hands, how much more do you like college football than the NFL? Like, can you do it with your hands? Like, to me, it's probably like that. Oh, it's that big? That wide?
Yeah.
Really? No crap.
Come on.
No, you know
I
what?
told you I wanted.
I told you it's gone like this, though. It really has. It's gone like that. I think last year, though, because of the Lions, it actually shrunk. Like, I really do. I think it shrunk for me. In the last couple of years, actually being able to sit at home and watch games, I told you, I'm like, I love it. And my buddies, oh, you want to go to a Lions game? Hell no, I don't want to go to a Lions game. No, I want to sit at home. That's what I want to do. I want to sit at home.
I mean, obviously I'm being a little dramatic, but if you told me like I couldn't do both, I could only spend my entire Saturday watching college football and I would have to miss all the NFL or vice versa, I'm taking my Saturday every single week, no matter what.
Yeah, me too. Me too. No doubt about it. Now,
and a lot of the times that's what I do.
One of my, I love Monday Night Football. I grew up in an era where it was something special. You guys never got to experience that, the younger generation. I mean, Monday Night Football used to be a very, very special thing. And I still feel that way about Monday Night Football. And I'm such a nerd about the fall. I mean, you guys know that already. Blake, I know you certainly do. I'm already planning like the first Monday Night Football. Like before the game, I'm heading to the cider mill. I'm going to get the pumpkins. I'm decorating all the house, and then I'm going inside to watch football.
That's fantastic.
It's a perfect night.
Yeah.
It's a perfect night. Are you kidding me? I don't care if it's September 9th. Yes, the pumpkins can sit out in front of my house for 52 days. I have no problems for that. Actually, they sit out all the way to the night before Thanksgiving, but that's a different story for a different day. Mike said 60-40 college over NFL. I would, speaking of college football, Blomo, have you figured out kicking on the NCAA 25 yet?
No, it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're going to have to do something about it. But that, and then I swear to God, I can't get a third down stop to save my life. These teams, I get just murdered.
Mike, we talked a little bit about this last night. He said, but what do you guys think of Netflix releasing a documentary about the sign stealing scandal at Michigan? I can't wait to watch it. You're not going to get anything from the guy. You're not, come on. You know, that's not me on the sidelines at Michigan State. Like, I'm going to hear things like that, and I'm just going to roll my eyes, just like there were morons going, well, if you look very closely, it doesn't look like him. Stop it. We all know it. Like, I'm going to watch it. I think it's going to be incredibly highly rated. I really do. But we're not getting anything out of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
David said the 9:00 start, the music back then. Oh, it was unbelievable. And this is for a lot of people, it's pre ESPN and getting highlights and everything to stay up until halftime to watch Howard Cosell's, kind of week in review Monday night highlight package. It was like, are you kidding me? Greatest night ever. So in regards to that, Blake, like that's something special that I love, but give me a college football Saturday, man. It's, and for me, my Saturdays are oftentimes spent, either at Tom Adams Field or some other GLIAC location.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm cool. When I'll get home, I'll be texting Blake at midnight, but now Blake, instead of you and I texting each other, we can just have a conversation with other college football nerds that are up. Hey, it's midnight. We're watching college football. Who's with us? That type of
And
stuff.
I'll have you see the TVs back? Like, all 3 of them.
Hell yeah.
That'll just be college football behind me.
Matt said all the
great.
people complaining about the new college football, including myself, are going to be so sucked into the new playoff. 100%. They know what they're doing. They do. It's just like the NFL. All the changes that the NFL has made, I've said this time after time. The NFL wins. We go kicking and screaming, but at the end of the day, the NFL wins. Blake, I always use this as an example. The third Thanksgiving Day game. Because we're creatures of habit. You can't have another game. It's always Detroit at 12:30 and Dallas at 4:15. You can't do that. Dude, I love it. I love the other game on Thursday night. Now, don't get me wrong. I missed some pretty good college football games, but yes, give me more. Give me more. Ray said, which team are you playing with, Blake? Michigan State.
Playing with Michigan.
What's it?
By the way, I now have a severe thunderstorm warning. Again.
That's all you need. Dude, it was. We've had 2 monsoons today. I crap you not. Eric, the puppy that I was just holding is Cole. Our other dog is Rocket. Whose announcers do you like better, NFL or NCAA? That's it's hard for me to say. Some of the guys that are put on pedestals, I'm not big fans of. And we know Blake, one guy who's been put on a pedestal, Blake is not a fan of at all.
On which side? Because there's a guy in college that I really.
I know, I have a feeling I know which guy you're going to say, and I feel the same way. Tony Romo, of course, who I was talking about. Your anger and hatred towards Tony Romo.
He's just not good.
Go ahead. He's a Fox guy, right? There it is. He's a Fox guy, right?
Yes.
Say it.
I think Gus Johnson is supremely overrated.
Big time.
He's a bit.
It's forced. It is. It's forced.
It's a bit. I think Klatt is really good. I really think Klatt is
one of the most objective people I've ever heard.
Okay. Well, I like him, but I understand what you're saying. But I think he watches games and pays attention and knows his stuff. I don't think he's on the level of Herb Street. I think Herb Street is the best,
no doubt,
for college football.
I agree with you,
and it's not even close. He's
so
good.
I feel the exact same way about Gus, and I know that's heresy to a lot of people, especially I guess because he's a Detroiter. I'm supposed to drop my pants and he's from Detroit. I think it's become a bit. I really do. It's forced.
Maserati Mar.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, no, I don't need it. I don't need the nicknames. I don't need anything.
It's too much.
And the CBS crew, somebody mentioned it. Big fan of Brad Nessler. Ray did. The CBS crew is great too.
And SEC coverage has been awesome.
But now that's ESPN.
And I miss good old Uncle Vern. I mean, Vern was just awesome.
Yeah, Vern's elite.
Maserati, Marvin, Blake the Great are just forced nicknames. I feel 100%. The same way. Sorry, it was different 10 years ago. It's kind of like the Romo thing. Romo, I openly admit it. That first year, I was like, dude, and then it was like, okay, come on.
It's obvious he stopped putting the work in.
Yeah, And
He
Gus
stopped.
is just everything is force. Nick said didn't Pash work at DFN. He did. He left, I think, 2 months before I started. I think he left in January of 99, just a few months before I started. And I started in April of 99. So we just missed each other. Pash and I just missed each other. I've seen him at, hundreds of things, whether it be doing stuff for ESPN3, whether it be the college basketball stuff that I did. I've seen him at 100 of things, but we never worked together. We never worked together.
NBC, the new NBC stuff is good too. Their Big Ten college football stuff is good.
I agree. Todd, I like Tirico. Tirico's just outstanding. Everything he does, Tirico is good.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tirico's great. Give me drunk Musburger hitting on girls in the crowd all day long. Sorry, I love Brent. I do. You are looking live. I love him. I know he gets a bad rap, but I love him. SEC and ESPN sucks. It needs to be on CBS. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking, I'm going to check it out. I'm try to go in, like most things, I try to go in with an open mind. But then I'm the type of person, when I deem something miserable, I don't deviate from it.
It'll be Herb Street a lot, so I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Legacy Partners. They've been helping out thousands of Metro Detroiters for years. Why haven't you called yet? Our friends at Legacy Partners are one of Southeast Michigan's top independent insurance agents. They provide a full-service, one-stop solution for all of your insurance needs. Personal, business, large, small, they got your back. Legacy has helped our listeners by fixing mistakes other agents have made, asking the right questions to get you the right coverage put in place to properly protect you. And help save you some money at the same time. Everybody could use a little bit of that right now. Chances are, if you haven't checked your policies in the last year, you're paying too much and you could be underinsured. What are you waiting for? Give Legacy Partners a chance to help with your home, your cars, life insurance, Medicare enrollment. They're doing it all for my family. So call and get your quote. They're going to hook you up like they've hooked up thousands of others and like they've hooked up me and my family. Give them a call today, 586-209-4106, or visit legacypartnersins.com to get started with your new quotes. Appreciate it greatly. Eric said, didn't you work at ESPN 1000 for a minute? I did not. One day I could tell you the places that called me, but once the kids were born, it was like I knew I was here. That's, whether it be an NHL team or some other big markets, I knew I was here and I have no problem with it, Then now I'm working with my pal Blake.
That's me.
Yeah, how you doing? Broder, Sean Baligian in the house. Broder in the house. What's up, buddy? Blake, for me, college football, it's late 90s it started, the transition for me. It just every year it just seemed like the NFL was here and college football went like that. It backed up a little bit last year, make no mistake about it, because of the Lions, but college football gets my blood flowing. And if I'm being honest with myself, maybe part of it is because for years I was always gone on Sunday. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. And I can tell you this, I've thoroughly enjoyed sitting at home on Sundays the last couple of years because I didn't do it for 20 years. I got to go do TV for Fox 2. Oh, I got to go to the Fan. Or, I got to go to WJR. Speaking of WJR, Blake at WJR with the Mitch Album Show and Sports Rap. Ray said, if you did a drinking game for Ohio State game with all its new players, they got nicknames, you would be drunk by half. What is very interesting to me, and I know you and I talked about this a few weeks ago when we got our college football magazines, but when it's going to become real is when we start to see these games and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot that dude plays for that team now. It's just as I read the magazine, because I have one in one throne room and the other in the other throne room. And you're like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. All right,
I asked you this earlier, and I don't know how much thought you've put into it. What, since we're talking college football, we might as well do it now. What new conference matchups are you most looking forward to? Maybe give me your Mount Rushmore. It's Mount Rushmore season.
I'm most intrigued right now from a talent standpoint and a good team by Oregon, and it's not even close. Really, it's not even close. But the kid in me who grew up dreaming that my team would go to Pasadena and have the chance to beat USC and have the chance to beat UCLA and have the chance to beat Washington, those games are always going to be special for me because the way I was brought up, back when that like really meant something, I mean, just going to the Rose Bowl and having that opportunity was like, so I don't know. I'm not trying to cop out on it, Blake. I'm intrigued by all of them just for different reasons, if that makes sense. Oregon's the best of the bunch. Yeah. I've laughed at USC for a good decade. Every year for a good decade, I could win some money by saying that they're vastly overrated. It's been that way for a long time now. And so it'll be really interesting to see how it works out. But I'm going to say it again. I know you don't like to hear it. I think this is going to be Ohio State and Oregon. It's going to be the year of the big O's in this conference. I really do. I've been wrong.
I agree with half of that.
You could never give them credit. You could never, ever give them credit.
Until Ryan Day actually does win a big game, why would I? You can acquire all the talent he wants.
Jason asked a very integral question, by the way, for those of you that are. Jason said, do you grab the extra gallon of cider for the freezer every time you hit the cider mill, or do you just do it a last-second hoarding? Okay. I get two. I always get one around Halloween, okay? Because in October, there's usually like a different taste to it because of the kind of apples that get used. And then the last day for the cider mill near my house is the Sunday before Thanksgiving. So I'll buy like 3 jugs. I'll put 2 in the refrigerator and another one in the freezer. So I keep one for Christmas Eve, and then I keep one for just random time, and like it was a couple weeks ago, I pulled it out and we hammered it. So that's what I do. So there you go. Utah, listen, I think they've been an underrated program for a long time. I mean, newsflash, right? They've been. Bill said, "Hey Blake, didn't you work for ESPN's First Blake for a minute?" I just caught that. Thank you.
Yes, I did.
OSU couldn't win versus Michigan with Stroud. What makes you think Will Howard can? He didn't.
What Ray said.
He didn't exactly light it up against Kansas State. Ray, they're loaded. I think Michigan obviously had a lot of losses. The defense should be pretty damn good, and you can't steal signs anymore. I'm sorry it was there. You guys can forgive me for that.
I mean, he's not wrong though. You can have every single piece in the book. They had 3 NFL receivers last year, and they had Kyle McCord.
That's a pretty damn good Michigan team, though.
Oh yeah, 100%.
A pretty damn good Michigan team.
But I was not a huge Will Howard guy at K-State.
Remember what I said. Okay, remember, hold me to this. Ohio State's going to play for the Natty. You guys can get as mad as you want, but they're going to play for the Natty. Remember I said that, okay?
Okay.
You're going to have to hold your Ryan Day jokes and everything, and I think they're going to play for the Natty. I really do. Remember I said that. Mark this date down, even though I said it a few times. Sean, do you watch wrestling? Not anymore. I haven't in years. Blake, do you? I don't think we've ever had that conversation. I haven't, even when you were little?
Nope, never got into it.
No, I haven't watched it in years. I haven't.
Ryan Day is a loser. Thank you, Matt.
I don't think they're winning the Natty. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they're winning the Natty. I think that's a foregone.
They're not going to win the conference.
You and I are going to have to think of a cute little bet.
I don't think Michigan is either, by the way.
No, we're going to have to. You think Oregon is, right?
Yeah.
You and I are going to have to think of a cute little bet about that.
they're nowhere near as physically tough as Oregon or Michigan. You can have all the talent.
Why can other schools reload and stay on top if you can recruit? Michigan has talent who didn't show out last year because of its depth. Remember, defense wins championships. Okay. All right.
Michigan's still going to have.
Listen, I'm serious. Don't use the R word to me. Don't like drop it. Like I'm not being funny. Drop it. No, I'm not talking about you. I'm saying in general. Don't use the R word to me. Do you know how many times I've heard that in my life? And oh, by the way, that wasn't a highly recruited class that won the national championship last year. You know what Jim Harbaugh did a hell of a job of? The same thing that y'all yelled at me for saying about Mark D'Antonio, for bringing in a 3-star and polishing him and spit shining him into a 4 or 5-star. For bringing in the 4-star and polishing him and spit shining him to a 5-star. Like, I don't drop the recruiting stuff on me. If you're going to drop the recruiting stuff on me, how's that worked out for Ohio State the last few years? You know what I mean? Like, knock it off. Stop it. Come on, right? I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I think Ohio State's loaded. I do, and I don't think there's a Michigan this year. And they got Michigan on the brain the last couple of years. I've seen what it's like when you have the other guy on your brain. I have. You know, the second that things go south, you see it. You know what I mean? You see it.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Don't compare Harbaugh to D'Antonio. Well, I mean,
there's comparisons.
Nobody can win at Michigan State, right? And he's never going to win. He's never going to win with those recruiting classes he has, right? Come on. Can we talk about Lindsey Broadwell?
Yeah.
When it's time to buy or sell, sometimes both, you need to contact the right agent. Who could that be? That lady right there. That's right, Lindsey Broadwell. Your house is probably the biggest investment you'll ever make, and that's why you need a pro. Lindsey grew up on the mean streets of Northville and has expanded her team all over Southeast Michigan. She's an expert in all facets of the business. Now, when it's time to move, our friend Lindsey and your team will make sure you get the most out of your house and everything goes smoothly when finding your new home. Buyer, seller, first-time buyer, doesn't matter. Make sure you contact Lindsey at BroadwellHomes.com. She will help you with everything from start to close. Licensed realtor at Real Broker LLC. Start your search today at BroadwellHomes.com. What did this say? Shawner, speaking of stars, didn't Braylon Edwards jump from a 2 to a 4? Do you know that's a true story? You know, Jason, you have a great memory. Braylon was on the show that I was doing. And Braylon, if you don't remember, Braylon was supposed to go to Michigan State. And Braylon went to a Michigan game, and Lloyd Carr surprised him at the end of the Michigan game and offered him, right? And Braylon, these are Braylon's words. Braylon said, you know what's funny? This is a Saturday afternoon. I didn't play any damn game. I didn't have any tape out there. And the next thing I know, my number, I think it was Rivals, jumped up to a 4-star. Come on. Like, stop it. And I'm going to say it again. I'm not saying it's useless, okay? I just think people put way too much into it. Does that make sense, Blake? Way too much into it. It drives me.
You can have all the talent in the world. You still have to coach and have the right chemistry and everything.
Matt, recruiting stars have never mattered. They matter even less now with the transfer portal. It's going to change the game, man. OSU's toughness died with Urban. Ooh, listen, they got to prove it. They got to prove it. There's no doubt about that. I think they've heard it, though. I think they've heard it. I have a feeling they're going to come out with a little bit of a swagger this year. I just do. I do. Does Texas and USC get exposed playing real games in the SEC and Big Ten? Which coach gets fired first?
Texas is different than USC.
I agree.
Texas has possibly the best offensive line in the country. Their offensive line is really good, and that's the difference. They have linemen where USC doesn't.
I can't joke about Texas anymore because of what they did last year. I had to let it go. But Texas was always number 2 for a long time. They were Texas is back. I can't tell you how many years I had a great bit for that. USC's to me the clubhouse leader every year. They're ranked someplace they shouldn't be. More often than not in the top 10. And it's just like, when are we going to learn? Like, knock it off. And then people will go, well, we weren't bad. They were 9-4. Shut the hell up with that stuff. It drives me out of my mind. Sean and Blake make a great team. Thank you, Bill. That's very kind. So yeah, I'm intrigued, Blake. I think Ohio State's going to take a bounce back. I don't think anybody's beating Georgia. I think we knew if you were going to get Georgia, it was going to be last year. And guess who got them?
So do you think Georgia, though, will, go undefeated? Because I just don't think that, I think the era of teams going undefeated is gone.
I agree with you. If you go undefeated now, you automatically enter conversations into greatest teams of all time. And I'm not overstating that. With the schedules being what they are now, the slate being what they are, you automatically just jump to the head of the line. Like you and I've said this forever. I will say that the 95 Nebraska Cornhuskers are the best team I've ever seen. Seriously, they just steamrolled people, both sides of the ball. Somebody might say Miami 01. Somebody might say LSU 2019. I get that. With the schedules today, especially, you know what? A lot of these out-of-conference schedules are not changing either. They're still putting like a big boy on there. Like, look at Wisconsin's schedule. And Wisconsin's not a big boy, but look at their schedule. That's a bitch. It really is, man. That's a bitch.
Is that jarring?
I don't think so. I don't think that one counts. Jason said, I think Texas actually holds their own in the SEC. USC will be middle of the pack in the big. Oklahoma's going to get smoked in the SEC. I agree across the board. I think USC is just going to be a prototypical 8-4 type of team. I'm intrigued at Texas. I think Oklahoma, a lot of it starts with their coach, though. Let's be honest, right? I think a lot of it starts with their coach. I'm so excited that Michigan State has competent coaches again. I'm like T.O. crying about Romo daily. Me too, but I'm not going to put the cart in front of the horse. There's just a lot of work that needs to be done, not only obviously roster related, but I think hearts and minds. And I know Matt said correct me if I'm wrong, Matt. I don't want to speak for you. He said, I think they could win 8 games. I'd drop my pants around my ankles if they won 8 games. I think my pants would be close to my ankles if they made a bowl game. Like, honestly, 6-6, I'd be happy with the disaster that last year was in every single way.
If Aiden Childs is good, they could be a bowl team 100%.
Yeah.
Quarterback makes such a big difference on that roster.
All right, I got one more read before we get out of here. Let me tell you all about Catering. They are a full-service caterer. Graduations, weddings, bridal showers, corporate events, anything you need catering for from 25 to 4,000 people, All About Catering will take care of you. Customer service and satisfaction is their number one goal. Rick and the gang, awesome food, smiley, happy, shiny, happy people as well. So don't sweat your next big event. Just go to allaboutcateringllc.com today to see their menus and all their 5-star reviews, or give them a call, 586-731-1398 to get your event started. Really appreciate it greatly.
Okay.
Look at that picture. Matt, I love what you said there. It's awesome your season doesn't come down to one loss anymore. You're right. It's not the end of your season. Yeah. It's not.
Hey, I had a question for you.
You talk for a second. I'm going to go piss, all right? I'll keep talking with you, but I got to piss right now.
Well, no, I needed you here for this, but that's fine. Yeah. No, I'll just talk to the chat and hang out. You go ahead, do your thing. Yeah, put me on the left side, man. Okay. No, I'm excited for. So someone asked earlier about Michigan in the video game. I think that EA did them right. Yeah. I mean, their depth is the only thing that I was surprised by, but it wasn't completely shocking because of what they lost last year. And there's kind of a lot of unknowns on that roster. the most frustrating part of playing with Michigan in the game is the quarterback. Like Alex Orji is, that's the biggest thing I'm worried about in real life with that roster is what the hell's going on with quarterback, because I'm not a huge Alex Orji guy. So I hope that the guys that they have behind him are going to show up, but we will see. What else do we got going on in the chat? Like going solo like Justin Timberlake. Yeah. I'm a multi-talented man over here. What else do we got going on? I hear Sean in the background playing with the dogs. And Sean, it is storming at my house like you would not believe right now.
You have no idea. It was awful. All right, so we have that back porch that like I love and everything. It was coming in sideways to the point where that back porch, I would say, no exaggeration, 3/5 of the back porch, a covered 3 seasons porch, 3/5 of it was soaked. Like no joke, that's how hard it was pouring.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about corn mazes?
I know where you're going. By the way, John, appreciate you, our buddy over in Windsor. The nightmare continues. Jays losing the Rays 4-2 in the bottom of the 9th. Can't wait for the trade deadline. Boy, what a disappointment. I thought the Jays had such a bright future not that long ago. I just don't get the whole corn maze thing. I don't.
What about corn mazes that are shaped in a football coach?
Maybe I'm just not fun. I don't get it. And I don't. Okay, it's cute. You show the picture, but it's not like, how is that like a talk?
Oh, you mean like, every news organization, radio station, everywhere's talking about it?
Really, it you know what? It sounds like the type of topic that you would hear like on the Paul W. Biden show or something like that. It really does. Like, what?
I don't get it.
How is that? Like, you know what? You make a reference to it. Maybe you tell people, hey, you can check this out. Just go to our website and check out the picture.
You would never do like you've worked in radio for a while, right?
How is that a topic?
You wouldn't do like a whole segment on it, would you?
How could you? How is it a topic?
I don't know.
I mean, show the picture. That's cool.
I think the whole thing's corny, but that's just me. Whatever.
Jason said Sean and his old man prostate. He needs to check out the sign to the right.
By the way, we need to wrap this up because I have to go turn my pump on outside. So
okay. All right. See, you know what? Maybe you should have listened to me. I had a premonition. Corn maze is cringe. Bill, I'm with you.
Yeah.
You know what? You show the picture.
That's the thing I'm worried about, though, with even Campbell.
Conversation.
No. That's the thing I'm worried about with Campbell, though. Like, okay. Bit aside. If they don't do well this year, which I think they will, if they don't, when does it turn into he's corny? Because he's on that edge.
Oh, he's got a grace period yet.
Okay.
It would have to really fall down. I think.
Okay.
I mean, hell, dude, people were worshiping Jim Caldwell for goodness.
That's 100% fair.
So,
I just think it could turn quickly.
Yeah. All right. Go. Good luck. God bless you. We'll talk to you soon. We got What the Puck tomorrow, Houghton edition. Bye. See you. Thanks, Todd. Bye. Thank you all.
Off the Air with Sean Baligian, featuring Sean Baligian and Blake Majchrzak. Produced by Todd Losey and Blake Majchrzak. Executive produced by Sean Baligian and Todd Losey. Theme song, incidental music, and related sound effects are from Play It Loud by Jam Studio. Engineering, mixing, and graphic design support provided by the unsyndicated podcast team. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Off the Air with Sean Baligian on all your favorite channels. While you're there, be sure to rate and review the podcast. Got something to say to Sean? Call the unsyndicated hotline at 248-237-3257.